Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to my live stream. I changed a few settings on the stream tab in OBS. I have been trying everything. I've been trying really high performance stuff. I made sure that I'm on the fastest server. I've messed with pretty much every setting and but we'll see. We'll see how this works. So getting back to what I was saying before, I am going to test these out on this little notebook and just see how everything works first. So since I already have experience with these are interesting. You have to take this off of here first and take this ring off. And then you have to spin it the opposite way than you think to get it back on there. And then that way, this should now have access to the ink. I'm not sure why they do this. Not all brush pens do this. Not even from this same brand do all brush pens do this. But maybe it has to do with the fact that these ones are squeezable. You can squeeze the body to get the ink to come out. So I don't know if that's visible, but I'm going to squeeze it and you can see the ink moving in there and filling the bristles now. So these bristles will never be this pretty clear color again. I think maybe they let you squeeze these ones so that if you're using it for art, you can get a really big blob of ink if you want, or you can just get a really dry brush sort of technique. I've never tried that. Let's give it a few swipes to get it going. I want to get the ink all the way to the tip there. This one has it's an actual like brush with bristles that come apart like this. Some of these ink brush markers or pens, they have a tip where the ends don't come apart. It'll still look like a brush, but you don't get like this kind of effect from it. Sarah, welcome. Wow, you were here right when I started. You can see how these worked. You're the one who gave these to me. It's a complicated pen. Well, it's not that complicated. It has the instructions right on here, so it's not too confusing. Yeah, this is, the ink comes out thick. Yeah, this is, I don't know if you can see, the brush goes all the way down to here. So it's really big. It's good for getting this like effects like this. But then you can also get little tiny lines like that out of it. This is a good one. So there's that one. Let's try this one. This also has this plastic ring. Put it off to the side. We just gotta... Yeah, what the heck? This one screws in the other direction than this one. It's so hard to remember. At least there's a little red arrow on both of them that helps you. So this is the same deal. I think I can put this on the end. Yay! Where you gotta squeeze the ink to get it. Ooh, I dripped some. To get it into the tip. It dripped out instead of going into the tip. I guess I squeezed it too hard. Or this one is super juicy. It's just like bubbling out instead of going, okay, I guess I gotta, should I pull this ink or should I just pull this ink? Oh, wow. This ink's a lot different. That was nice of them to put instructions on the pen. Yes, indeed. Too bad. These ones are in English, but these ones are still in Japanese. Even though these are both the US market pens. The instructions are probably on the box too, but I already disposed of that. Yeah, this ink, maybe I'm supposed to shake it, but this ink is so clear. But that's cool because then I can get lighter techniques without having to do watered down ink. Which I don't want to do because that makes this paper bleed. Yeah, interesting. I wonder if I might have gotten my settings better. Nope. Stream still looks jumpy to me. I have no idea what to do. No idea. It's ironic. It's been this way. It's had these problems, seems to me, ever since I upgraded my hardware, which doesn't make sense. It should be performing better, not worse. I don't have time to keep messing with it today. I keep spending time messing with it every day, and I'm losing time on other projects. Starting to wonder if streaming is just not something I can do, but I hate it because I like streaming. Oh, wow. Wow, this pen is so weird. This is the one that's called Stylo. All of these are Pentel brand. I don't know if you can see, but the end of this pen is super weird. Oh! It writes like normal, but it writes like a normal pen. It's so weird. Let me draw what this looks like. So it's like this, and then it comes out like this, and that's like a little white plastic part, and then it has this black plastic part holding this, and then the brown body. So it looks like this. And here's what it looks like from the side. This is the white plastic part, and the black plastic part comes down like this, and one is shorter on the bottom, and then the brown body. But it writes like a normal pen. It doesn't feel different. I wonder why it's like this. I wonder why would you make a pen look like this? Bloop, bloop, bloop. It doesn't like fast lines very much. It doesn't put out enough ink when I draw really fast. So this isn't good for super fast, like it's not. But if I do it at a not too fast, it's pretty good. This is a good one for just, oh, it's splattered a little bit right there. For just doing an outline where you don't need line weight or anything. The stream looks okay to you? Oh goodness. I wonder if it's just, it's so hard to tell what's going on. I'm glad it looks okay to you though. Because I always watch my own stream to make sure there's not something happening, because I don't often have viewers to tell me. So it's like looking choppy. In the last video, when I watched the recording, which is supposed to be recording separately from the stream, it's not a recording of the stream, it's a recording of the video on my computer before it gets sent out over the internet, but it was still choppy. So I guess I need to do some testing where all I do is record and see how that works. At least for now, as long as it's not too bad, then I can continue without worrying about the rest of today. Maybe the weird design is meant to keep you from smashing the tip and to mimic a dip pen. It could be. It does kind of look like it has that angular look. Okay, well there's that one. It's a good one for lining. And this one, it's called the sign pen. I used this one already, but I want to show. It's kind of like, with the line that comes out, it's kind of like this one, but it's just thicker. But the tip is totally different. It's more normal. Kind of looks like a marker tip. You can get slightly bigger lines if you lay it on the side too. And these are the ones I've never used before. These are the calligraphy ones. So they have a flat tip. I'm not good with calligraphy. I'm not good with... Oh, it looks much cooler when I write with my normal handwriting. Forget cursive. Cursive sucks. I suck at cursive. Let's try this one. I think this one's just smaller. Yeah, that looks really cool when I write with my normal handwriting. Let me try cursive though. Well, if I write faster, it's a bit better. Okay. These would be good for filling in too, because it makes such a big line all at once. That got dark? What do you mean? What got dark? The ink? This is the Copic multi-liner that came in this set of markers with pens. It's blue, if you can't tell. So it's about the same size as this one, as this pen. But this one's black, and this one's blue. So I might not end up using this one because I bet it's the same size. Let's see, 0.3, yep. Or I might not using the brown one. Yeah, it looks the same. So that's all these. I guess I'll just put this one back in the Copic set, since this is essentially the same result. Oh, this one got dark. Yeah, since it has that really big felt tip, the ink comes out on all sides instead of just the very end of it. So that's convenient. That makes it more versatile. Now, since these says permanent ink on it, I was going to use these. How to open them? I already cut it open and everything, and it doesn't want to open back up. There we go. Yay! Just wanted to see what these colors are all like. I might not use them all, since I want to draw Yoshi. Yoshi's just... and a star. And the star is yellow. Yoshi is yellow. Brown, red, well, brown, it's kind of orange. Red, green, and of course white. And the eyes are tinted blue in this one reference that I saved. No, I can't put it on the end. Okay, just hold it. Here's that pink one. Probably won't use pink today. But I can always just add colors that aren't necessarily in there. Lighter green. Darker green. I love metallic. Metallic is so satisfying. This is the only blue. It's a pretty good blue too. Since blue is my least favorite, I'm kind of critical of shades of blue. Purple. Oh wow. I did not expect this color out of here. It's so bold and nice. It's really vibrant. And the rest are actual like metal looking metallic colors. How to get you out of here. This one's like a bronze or something. I'm going to do it on its own. Oh, look at that. There's two of each here. Oh, because that's the more popular colors. Yeah, that's like a bronze color. I could use these extra ones when I run out of my current permanent metallic markers that I use for my daily planner. Gold. Yellow gold. I hate blue. Hate's a strong word, but I'll say it's my least favorite color, blue. Some blues I actually love. You know that like nautical blue that's often paired with like a creamy white and a vibrant red? That blue, I don't know if that makes any sense, but that blue is my favorite color of blue. I really love it, especially in that combination. But blue, like your typical like royal blue, I think is what it's usually called, is just the ugliest the ugliest of standard sort of colors. I just hate it. It's so common. Like I'll open my list of apps in my phone and it's just most of the icons are that color or very similar. I don't want to see it. I hate it so much. I don't like navy blue either. But if they're brighter blues and if they have more green in them, then I'll like them a lot more. So like this blue is just fine to me. This is a good looking blue right here. But like I said, I'm a lot more critical of shades of blue because some of them are just, wow, I hate them. I hate this blue. I just said hate is a strong word but for certain shades, I think I do hate certain shades of blue. Cerulean is your favorite blue. I wonder what, I'm not sure exactly what that color is. Let me look it up. I want to know. Cerulean blue. Cerulean blue. Oh yeah, that one's fine to me. That's a fine color. I know, you got me saying hate. But I don't hate blue as a whole, just certain shades. So there's my testing of these supplies. So these are what I'm going to use today. And the prompt for today, I don't think I said it in this particular stream since I had like a 5-minute stream where I wanted to change stuff up. And then I stopped so I could change the settings and see if that helped. The prompt is star. So I'm going to be drawing Yoshi with a superstar from Mario Party because I spent like half of Saturday playing the new Mario Party on Switch with my husband, my brother, and for a little while with my friend who came over. When you were a kid, you'd always use the Cerulean Crayola crayon up first. Man, you really did like it. Really is your favorite then. Is it your favorite blue, or is that just your favorite color overall then? I think I'm gonna draw it this way today. I wanted to get this sketch done earlier, but I spent my time purchasing and installing a cloud backup program for my PC, because I realized my whole job and everything is on my computer. If something physically happened to my drives, and especially to my art drive, I would be so screwed. And making a physical backup, like on like disc or something, like a Blu-ray or DVD or something. I can't do Blu-ray, but I could burn to a DVD. But for one, that's totally impractical, because I have almost I just looked it up to make sure which plan I needed to buy, but I have well over 700 gigabytes of data in total, and my art drive alone is over 500 gigabytes. And it's like the last 15 years of everything I've done with art. So backing that up regularly would be a huge pain, because I'd probably need multiple discs, and I'd have to, in order to make it, like if something happened, I'd prefer to have a backup every day so that I didn't lose a whole day of work. But if I had no choice but to back up physically, then I'd still want to do it like every week, so at least I didn't lose a whole week's worth of work. But just imagine that. Imagine burning to disk every... And I know you can update so that you don't have to have... I haven't burned to disk in years, but you can choose a setting so that you can change the information on the like DVD. But even then, you have these, and then if there's like a fire in my house or something, the discs will get burned up too, and so either I'd have to like send them off to storage, and I don't want to do that either, like all every week do that. So I got this cloud storage thing. It's going to back up my entire PC, all my drives, everything, every file. I told it not to exclude anything, even temp files. I just want to make sure everything is covered, and everything would be exactly the same if something physically happened to my computer. So I spent all my time doing that instead of working on this, instead of getting this sketch done first. Let's see, Yoshi's nose is pretty big. It's just as big as the rest of its face. Oh yeah, forgot to look at my chat. I got distracted. Your favorite color is silver or gray. That's good too. That's my favorite metallic color. I've always had black, red, and silver. And then if I have to choose one, red is my favorite. Silver is so good. You've lost so much art over the years because you never saved it. And you lost the DVDs you had burned in the past with your comic edits. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's why I decided to just go with the cloud thing. Because even though it costs a lot more, I mean, it was pretty spendy. I got a year subscription. It costs $100 a year. But considering what I could lose, like it's my career. My career is on this computer. If I lost that, it would be devastating. So I thought it was worth it. Worth it to spend that money, yearly money, and then I get a backup every day. I can choose how many backups to keep. I wasn't even thinking about that. How many backups to keep. I was thinking more like Just I want it backed up every day and updated every day. But now, say I try to update my computer with some software or something, and then I mess up my computer because of that. Worst case scenario, now I can go to the cloud and bring back my last backup from the previous night. So I'm even protected from stuff that I wasn't even shopping for when I looked this up. And something that made me choose this company that I went with, it's called like Adonis or something, but I went to an article that reviewed a bunch of different services, and this was one of the more spendy ones, but it was one of the few, if not the only one, that allowed you to back up everything exactly as it is. A lot of them like force you to only back up certain folders. Like it won't just let you make a complete exact copy of your hard disk, which is a big problem for me because I have a lot of files that are actually in, so this specific example is in Photoshop. I have all these textures and stuff that I've made, and they're saved in Photoshop in the program folder. But that's not always part of the backup thing when it has some automatic thing where it thinks it knows best of what to keep. Because I had that problem in person once when I needed to have a hard drive copied over and I couldn't do it on my PC because I didn't have the right connectors or something, and I thought it would be easier to just take it in to someone, and he did the same thing where he was like, oh, well, I copied your image folder and your blah 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 folder, and I'm like, I wanted you to just copy it, the entire thing, from here to here. And he's like, oh, that's gonna take a lot longer. I'm like, I don't care how long it's gonna take. That's what I came here for, is exactly that. It's not about time, it's about the actual files. So having that in-person experience, even though it was really frustrating at the time, was very informative, because today when I was looking it up, I was like, oh, no, I'm not having that again. I was like, everything negative has a positive side. Learned my lesson from that experience. So even though this service is pretty expensive, I feel it was something that's been weighing on me ever since I realized it like a month or two ago that, man, if something happened, if I'm in the basement, if we got flooded or something, or there was a fire, something crashed in through my window for some reason, there's things you can't even imagine that could happen. I feel so much better now. And I think it's because I worked in IT for so long, and companies have regular backups that happen. That's just industry standard to have either their own cloud where they've got servers off-site that are connected, or they use a third-party service. And that was one of the last things I worked on when I was still working in IT, was the transition from our own backup servers to a hosted backup and like all this stuff. And so having that experience from my previous job was really good, because then I learned all that stuff which is totally applicable to my own personal hardware and software. You can imagine me grabbing this dude by the shoulders and shaking him. Oh man, that is what I wanted to do. Like, I try to stay positive, but this guy was talking down to me. He was talking to me like I didn't know what I was talking about. He didn't actually say anything, but I can't help thinking that it was because, so like, when I talked to him about this issue, it was over the phone, because he was like, oh, your copy is done, here, you can come pick up your stuff. So I got home and I'm like, none of the stuff I need for Photoshop is here because none of the Photoshop files are here. So I called in and I was like, I wanted to get a copy of this hard drive, and yet all I am seeing is the My Documents folder, basically. And so the whole time he's like speaking to me as if I am an idiot, and I can't help thinking he's assuming because I'm a female that I don't know what I'm talking about. Eventually, I had to, like, what would you call it? It's not name dropping, it's like career dropping. I was like, I've been working in the IT field for 8 years. It was something like that at the time. It was 10 years by the time I left my job. Like, I had to explain, I know what I'm doing, I just want, like, I can't believe that he wouldn't just do it. That when I explained that what he did wasn't what I wanted, that he wouldn't just say, oh, sorry about that misunderstanding, just bring it back in. It'll take a lot longer. We'll need to keep it for a couple days, but, you know, we can do that for you. Instead, he, like, argued with me over it and, like, saying that I didn't need to do that and everything, and it was so annoying. So super annoying. But again, it was a learning experience. Now I know to be extremely specific, and today it was very useful when I was looking up cloud backup services. If I hadn't done a little research first, I wouldn't have assumed that services just did that. Just like I assumed when I asked this company to back up my hard drive to copy it over to another hard drive, I assumed they would do what I was imagining, which was just make an exact copy, like clone it onto the other one. Apparently these cloud services you can subscribe to online also do not do what I would think. It's really hard to draw Yoshi from this angle because both of these, I want him looking at this star, obviously, but neither of these, I see what's wrong. This needs to be, I don't have a reference of him, his back of his head. I have the back of his body, but he's like turning his head over his shoulder. Well, I can't spend too long on this, so this is just gonna have to be good enough. This will be close enough. I think it'll still be recognizable as Yoshi. I say him out of habit, but I realized either earlier this year or something that Yoshi pretty much has to be a girl because Yoshi lays eggs. Yoshis have to be girls. That's the defining characteristic that makes a female, is that the female lays eggs. Because even with creatures like seahorses, the females still produce the eggs. It's just that they put the eggs into the male seahorse's pouch or whatever. But the males aren't producing the eggs. So even though Yoshi is always written as him in the games as the pronoun, that has to be wrong. I'm going to try my best to stop saying him, because it bothers me when I say it. When I say him, I'm like, yeah, it can't be a him. Plus, it's nice to think that there are a few more female characters in the Mario world. Since pretty much everybody is a boy, unless they're a princess. Yoshi's always been my favorite. We would fight, me and my siblings, Mario Party. From the very first Mario Party on, let's see, Yoshi has 3 of these on the back of its head. Back of its, her, whatever head. 3 of these things. Yet we would fight over Yoshi. Now it's just accepted. It's been so many years. Finally, everyone just lets me have Yoshi. I was the oldest, so I was the craftiest. And I would always, I'd say 95% of the time, I'd manage to get Yoshi when we were kids. Yoshi is just my favorite. That's why I'm drawing Yoshi for this prompt. The prompt is star, so it made me think to draw Mario Party star. And I gotta draw the Yoshi to get the star. Let's see, Yoshi doesn't have very long arms. Hopefully that's not too long. Again, I can't take too much time. Can't take too much time in this. I gotta get to the actual inking. And there's 3 fingers and thumb. So if I need to do my own hands real quick. My own hands to see. Okay. So I think that the hands would be like this to receive the star. So it would curve underneath. I didn't make a Daz Studio reference thing this time. So I just gotta use my experience and my own hands as reference. So when Yoshi's receiving the star, having the fingers separated is good. And the fingers are just kind of like, they've got these big, kind of like chameleon? No, not chameleon. Gecko. Kind of like gecko fingers a little bit. And Yoshi's really round, so I'll make the hand round. I don't like that one. I want this to be a little more back like that. There. That's good. Well, it's good enough. I think I'm making everything too long, but I'm just trying to hurry. Trying to hurry and do the sketch part so I can get to the actual inking. That's what's important. Practicing my inking. Dang, there's not much room for the legs. The legs are pretty short. Let's see. So it'll come out this way. Jazz hands. Yep. So that's a tail. The legs are, I think they're like right here. Pretty chunky in this one reference. I've got like a drawn official art of Yoshi I'm looking at, and then I also have like a CG official Yoshi. They're slightly different. Shoes round at the top. And around here, it's like 2 big circles almost connected for the shoes. And the toes are pretty big. Toes go up. Something about my settings is definitely different because this is the highest CPU usage I've ever seen. One of the things I changed, because the actual recording ended up choppy last time, was I upped the bit rate by quite a bit for the recording part. I didn't even know that was a setting. It turned out that there was some setting that wasn't even showing up for me because there was something was the default selection, and because of that there was a whole menu that wasn't showing up. So when I was watching these YouTube like advice videos like this is how I fix choppiness on my stream, I'm like, how are you doing this menu? I don't even see that. Eventually I figured it out. It'd be good if my recordings turn out better because of that. Because that is what lasts. Because on Twitch, it only keeps like the last 14 days worth of streams, and then they get deleted. So that's why I upload the recordings to YouTube. Because then they're there until I decide I don't want them there or something. Now, how would this be? Okay. Go down like this into the shoe. And that's not bad. And I think the toe of this shoe would be like all the way right here, so I'm not even going to draw anything right there. Wait. Ooh, I think this is good for the sketch. Oh, wait. I need to do the little eyes. The little eyes on the star. Oh man. This reminded me, to begin with, how my very first game, and I posted it on my Twitter, I didn't lose, but I tied with the lowest difficulty of computer. And there's just something kind of disheartening about that. At least I didn't lose though. My brother actually lost to the computer. But then that reminded me of one of our subsequent games. The computer, it was the same level of computer, so it was pretty dumb. It might be the dumbest thing I've ever seen a computer do though. Or it actually heard me and listened to me because I like jokingly said, use your selectable dice block. There's a dice block you can get as an item where you actually just select what number you get and then you get to go that many places. The computer was in front of like the worst possible space you could land on, and it was 1. And I was like, oh, use your selectable dice block to get on 1. And it did it. It went and it used the item and it chose, it starts at 6 and it went back and it chose 1 and it landed on the bad space, the worst space it possibly could, especially because these spaces change in like the last 3 turns of a game. These spaces get like extra bad, and so it was just so hilarious. And the only thing I can think is maybe it had a strategy, because it actually the computer received a star at the end of the game, because they hand out the bonus stars. It received a star for landing on the most bad spaces, like having the worst luck, because it ended up landing on 2 of those spaces. One of them was, the first one was that on purpose, and then the second one was by chance. It landed on it. And so when we looked at the stats, like none of us human players even landed on a bad space, and then this computer landed twice on the worst possible space it could. Just unbelievable. And it ended up getting a star. I think it lost the game still, but like, was there some genius in there, or was it just the dumbest computer I've ever played against. I can't tell. But it was whatever the reasoning, it was extremely hilarious. I literally shrieked when it started doing exactly what I said. Like, I think I startled my husband, Sean, because he like made a motion towards me or something, but it was so unbelievable. They would actually do that. Then it kind of makes me feel a little worse about tying with the computer, like, oh wow, this is the level of computer that I tied with. This amount of dumb. Let's see, I'm down to the shoes, and I want to use, oh, it's great that I did this, because I can look. I'm going to just use a normal pen for the shoes. So, I think I'll use this one. Those lines were this pen. I'm using the more organic brush lines for Yoshi's body, but for the shoes, I think more steady line is better. There. That's good. I think that's good. So this is the one that has more like grayish ink. I wasn't supposed to shake it or something. We'll go back to this one. Oops. Well, let's try it again, I guess. It's not working. Yoshi, what happened to your round belly? You're supposed to have a round belly. And now it's all dark and it was supposed to be white. Oh well, finished, not perfect. That's the mantra for Inktober this year. Been trying to live by that. I actually just need to... Sometimes I need to just remember that no matter what what project I'm working on. So I get so carried away trying to get every little detail, or instead of carried away, I get like dejected because it's like something is not how I imagined it. This is a really good brush pen. I love this. Just getting that huge. It's really responsive. It's doing exactly what I want. Yeah, I guess I'll keep using it for these. Use a bigger line on the bottom of these to give the impression of it being in shadow. Didn't work out right there, but I tried. Whee! I love doing these really huge and then it gets tiny. The lighter ink pen was a wash ink for shading. That's why it is lighter. Oh, good. That's perfect. I can use it to do, although I made his belly black. I'll still do it. I'll use it for, because I don't want to use these to just fill in the color, because they're so small that I'll just be doing this forever. I'll just use it to add color, but I'll do the wash for where the green and white meet, because in this drawn version of Yoshi that I'm looking at, this official one, there's not, so there's like black outlines for like everywhere I've put them so far, but where there's green for his body, its body, her body, whatever, Yoshi's body, and white, there's no black outline. It's just green meets white. So I'll use the wash for the green part. Yoshi's back of Yoshi's head. And I love brush pens. They're so good. I love brush pens. This one has a great range of sizes you can get too. Got this little tiny line and this huge one without really any extra effort. Let's see. So the white. Oh, this is gonna look great. So just, it's probably gonna make lines where I ink over ink. So I'm gonna do my best to at least get long strokes in, so there's as little of that as possible, and make the strokes make sense with the body part I'm working on. That's cute looking. It kind of looks like a Yoshi drawn in the sand or something. Like there's some lines like this. I don't know if that makes any sense. So the arms are totally green. Completely and utterly green. Sweet. I was able to get that all in one. You've never used a brush pen before, but I make it look fun. You should use one. It's fun. I don't know if I'm making it look fun or if it's just because it is fun. It's totally fun. You should try it. You can just practice on a scrap sheet and then try it on some sort of something. You can try it for Inktober. Seriously, it is fun. It's so satisfying to just go, and then you just, and it's like, oh, little big, little big. These ones are really good too. You're the one who got these for me. I recommend you get some for yourself. You know where to get them now. Like they behave really well. They are very responsive. I think that brush pens are actually easier to use than if you try to ink something with an actual like paintbrush and just dip it into ink. It's a lot easier. It's more controllable. And then you don't have to worry about re-dipping your pen in every few seconds. Aw, you have no budget for art supplies. That makes me think I should send you some of these pens back. That's sad. So that you can try the wonders of a brush pen. I actually have a ton of ones from ArtSnacks, but they never send the same pen twice. Well, usually, sometimes they do, but they usually wait like a couple years before they send the same thing out that they've sent before. Oh, this leg should be green too. I keep feeling weird when I say something needs to be green, and then I like put this and it's gray. Ah, and put that on tight enough. The transit would not be clean. That's probably true. Oh, I just had an idea. I should use the marker. The metallic marker for the star. For the outline of the star. Yes. I also like how quickly these dry. Like I can still feel that it's a bit damp, but I know I'm safe putting my hand on it. These got rounder than I originally intended. It just happened. Golden outline for the star. Now what? Its eyes? Eyes are black. Let's use this thing. This extremely interesting tipped pen. Huh, I wonder if I can... I'm going to do another test. Oh, it doesn't work that good. I was wondering if I could do my black ink on top of these metallic markers. It's really strange. It's like it just disappears. It disappears wherever the marker is. So I gotta do this first, because I thought I'd put a little bit of color in the eyes. Just to make them a little more interesting, since it's Inktober. I'm gonna do a heavier black outline on these. Ah, just got my thumb. Wasn't paying attention. Started looking at my screen. Dang, I really like how this turned out. This is really great. This wash. Okay, I want to erase. I'll start down here. Erase the leftover graphite, and then I will start looking at areas where I can add more ink just for interest. I could technically call it done right now, and it will have been an hour, but I want to practice a little bit more than this. And use a few more colors maybe of the metallic ink. Now I'll try to finish by 1 my time, so 20 more minutes. And then another Inktober will be in the bag. I'm really glad I was realistic with myself and decided from the beginning not to worry about doing prompts on weekends, because I totally didn't think about Inktober at all over the weekend. I knew I wouldn't, so there was no disappointment today when I was like, oh yeah, I need to do Inktober today. Since art is my job, I want my weekends off. I don't agree with, I'm not saying it won't work for other people, but I don't agree with the idea that, and the common advice that's handed out, that in order to be a real artist, in order to get better, you have to draw every single day without fail. You have to bring your drawing stuff with you no matter where you go so that you can accomplish this, and if you're not drawing every day, you're not working hard enough. That's like the implication. I don't agree with that at all. That has never worked for me, and I've tried it before. It doesn't work. Not for me or people like me. It doesn't help me improve. It just becomes this burden, and then I don't focus on things that I could be doing that take more than one day to accomplish, which I think are my better works. And then you can get all depressed because you feel like a failure because you're not sketching or drawing every day, and then if you do manage it, you start getting tired, you get burned out, you don't even want to do it, and you wonder if you even want to do art anymore because you feel like if you can't do it every day, then you're not a real artist. So whatever, you know, I don't agree with that advice at all. And that's why I don't do any art on the weekends. I'm giving myself those days off to do other stuff, play video games, get chores done around the house, and whatever. I feel so much more rejuvenated when I come back for the weekdays. So for this shell on the back of Yoshi, or I guess it's a saddle, I don't know. I don't know if it's a saddle or a shell. Well, whatever it is, I'm doing it this pink color. And I'm just going to do, I'm not going to fill it all the way in. I'm going to do like hatching. Oh, I went over the lines and you can totally see. Oh, I will just go all the way over the line so that it is even. Do more hatching to give it the illusion of being shaded. These are fun. These metallic markers are fun. You somehow close the window with the hotkeys. Man, I'm doing that kind of stuff all the time. I don't know what my deal is. I've been typing on a computer since grade school, elementary school, and I'll do like, and I'm like, why? And it'll open my bookmarks, or, and I'm like, no, that's not what I was trying to do, or I'll type, and I'm like, how did those letters happen? Like, that's not even what I was typing. Kind of thing happens to me all the time. So his shoes or Yoshi's shoes and spikes, I guess, are kind of brown, so I think I'm going to use this bronze color. So that's pretty close. They're like an orangish brown. And I'm doing curving the lines to help give shape to these two-dimensional areas. Alright, turned out into a little bit of cross-hatching right there. But I thought I needed that. Now for these little horn things. I think this is turning out pretty neat. I really like how these are looking. What else? Where else can I add some stuff? And the Yoshi's belly doesn't match at all. Yoshi, your belly. Eh. Oh well, I just gotta leave it. Finished, not perfect. Finished, not perfect. Oh yeah. Just gonna put some color in the eyes for this. Just to make it more interesting. So, I'm gonna fill the whole star in. You were worried that my metallic pens would be kind of cheap and that I wouldn't like them. Yeah, they're working out good. None of them seem dry or anything, and they're not like spraying. I've had, even in ArtSnacks boxes, I've gotten markers or pens that are like this, with this type of tip, this material, whatever it is, I can tell it's the same because it's just got this texture. I'm sure that the camera isn't picking it up. There's this texture, and some of these pens that have it, when you draw a line, it ends up doing this little spray of flecks all over. And it really doesn't seem like it's on purpose. It just seems like the tip itself gets caught on the paper or something and ends up, you know, as you're dragging it, it's getting caught and not caught. So it's like getting little flecks all over the place. And these don't seem to be doing that at all. I can't see any stray ink anywhere. So these seem to be pretty good. Good choice. Good eye. And thank you again for sending me these. It's always fun to try new stuff. That's why I've been subscribed to ArtSnacks for like 4 or 5 years now. I'm 1 year, I got signed up. Actually, my first box was exactly 1 year, like their 1 year anniversary. So I'm 1 year behind the advent of ArtSnacks. Huh, I did all these straight down, but that's not going to work on this one. I'll just do this one sideways. Okay, so I thought for areas that are in shadow, I'd use the same, but then I use a silver to do like this highlight area. How should I do it though? Do it this way. I don't know if this will end up looking like a highlight, but it'll look different. It'll at least look interesting. And then it actually has some reflected light on this arm. I'm going to draw one right there and on this bottom arm. Oh, it's so pretty. He's such a pretty little star. Yoshi's looking all gray, so I'm going to put some green. I keep trying to, that's the only bad thing about these, you can't put the cap on. I keep trying to put the cap on and it doesn't work. I'm just going to do some hatching. Not all over the place, just in a few areas. Though I didn't make a Daz Studio pose reference for this, because I mean this isn't even a humanoid, so it's kind of hard. I think that the fact that I've been making and using those pose references recently still helped me, because I was able to draw this hand so much easier than it feels like I normally can without any reference. I mean, I did look at my own hand, but I've done that for years and it's not always helpful. I think I've been drawing hands in such varied positions recently that I think I leveled up. I think my hand skills have leveled up. Like, I'm just really pleased. pleased with this hand. Usually I'm like disappointed and I'm like, oh well, I can try again next time. This time I'm looking at it and like, oh, that's exactly what I wanted. I wanted the hand to be, you know, facing up, receiving the star. I think that's good for green lines. Didn't show up as well as I wanted, this green. It looks gray now. Looks gray on the gray wash ink. I still like how cool these stripes are. I think those are coming through on the camera. They look really neat. I'm glad I was extra careful to not just like fill in like this or whatever, like do this strokes with some thought behind them. The bottom of these shoes are supposed to be yellow. Either I should use gold or, yeah, I'll use the gold. Another use for the gold. I'm just going to fill it in since it's such a narrow area. Maybe toward the front of this one I'll go to hatching. So it'll be a little more lit. It's lit, man. It's lit. That's not what I meant. Okay. What else? Should I draw some like lines? Like the stars shining? I think maybe I will. Looks like the kanji for small. I didn't do that on purpose, but after drawing it 3 times, I'm like, wow, it's so similar. Aw, that's cute. It makes it kind of look like a Christmas ornament or something. What else? What else? What else? What else should I do to this? Although, oh, you gotta head out, Sarah? Well, I'm almost done anyway, so you won't miss very much. I might even be done. I'm just trying to see if there's anything else. But thank you for joining me. Thank you for coming to my stream. I think you're the first person to show up like right away as soon as I started streaming. I hope you can join me another time this week or maybe next week or something. Thank you for these supplies too. I'm gonna keep saying thank you. Maybe I'll do some lines around Yoshi to like show where the light from the star would be hitting and reflecting. Yeah, man, I like that. Ooh, I need to be a little more careful getting this metallic ink places where I don't want it. I wonder if it can erase. Ooh, it did. Yay! At least it erased enough. What else? What else? Not much else. Maybe I'll use this 3mm. I think this is the small one. Use this to make a nice thick line under the shoes. And oops, I'll do one in the back too. Now the ink does not like the ink, it's all ink. The black ink Does not like going on top of the metallic markers. The metallic totally comes through. But that's okay. Just playing around now. Experimenting. Okay, I'm gonna call this good. Didn't end up using this one, but I didn't see anywhere that would be a good use for it. I'm just gonna use this one to sign it. 18, and I'll write. I'm writing most of them at the top, so I'll continue. Pretty sure I've been writing Inktober 2018. I just feel like my handwriting is so sloppy when I write these. Day 8. And the theme was star. Yay! There. All done. It was nice to use something a little different than my Inktober ArtSnacks stuff. So I think I'll probably keep switching throughout the month. Maybe once a week I'll use these, and the rest of the week I'll use the Inktober box, or if I just feel like it, I'll use one or the other. So it was fun to use this big brush pen. That was especially satisfying, making these big lines. And I love how the nose ended up. It's really satisfying is the best word for it. It's so satisfying. So that's it for today. I will be back tomorrow to do the next Inktober prompt. Thank you for watching.